Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Darren. I hope you are all well. So today we're going to be working on Castle Wolves, which is artwork by John Patrick Krasny. Surprise, surprise. So this is going to be at least one stitch with me done for this week. So I'm hoping to get two, but we'll see how we go. So, and I'm hoping you can see these colours all right on here as well. And I apologise if the camera's swaying a bit. So this is the only piece that I need to wear my glasses for, because for some reason, I don't know why, I can't see it clearly enough when I'm stitching on it. Which is very strange, because all the other size 28s are, well, pieces on 28 fabric don't bother me, but this one, I just can't seem to find the holes. I don't know if it's because of the light colours or what, I don't know. So I hope you're all well and having a good stitchy week, or crafty week, should I say. It's warming up over here, so I'm meant to be, I think it's 30 or 32 degrees today. I'm meant to keep warming up, but then as from, I think it's Tuesday or Wednesday this week, so it's Saturday at the moment, so Tuesday or Wednesday this week, I think it drops from 32 degrees back down to 21, so that's going to be fun. Everyone's going to be getting colds, just what you want. So, little work update, we are dead as anything. We've got enough wood to just keep us ticking over at the moment. Well, the wood I'm on anyway, I've got enough for that, because there's only me on the saw, so I don't get it done as quick as others. But the other guys have nearly finished their wood, so they're going to be helping me on my wood soon anyway, so I don't know what's going off. I'm not getting much wood through at all, but hopefully that might change soon, because New South Wales have hit their first benchmark with regards to vaccinations, so I think there's 70%, I think. So half of their restrictions are eased, so everyone's got, a lot of people are back at work as from Monday. So hopefully we may see more timber coming through, because that's where most of the timber yards, mills, whatever you want to call them, are. It's down in New South Wales. So, needless to say, because we haven't had much wood, Shane's having to work in the shed instead of out in the truck. So he was moaning the other day that his hand hurts him because he's not worked in the yard that much since passing his truck lessons test. So he was moaning the other day that his hand hurts him now. I said, you be right. So he goes for his second vaccine on Friday, so he'll then be fully vaccinated. Same as me. And I've just put that stitch in the wrong spot. Yeah, I'd be right. No, maybe I won't be right. I'll need to change it. Do I have another needle somewhere? Nope. I did have another needle. This is going to be fun now, trying to pick this out. Welcome to the world of Stitch With Me's. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That came up pretty quick, easier. I'm using my ball tip needle, so I normally have another one attached to this as well for ending my thread, but I don't know where that one is. So college is going okay. I haven't looked at the assessment I need to get done yet. I'm going to start that in a moment. As I say, the lecturer messages us every Monday telling us what units we've got to work on. and everything, and she was like, the assessment's not due to start until next weekend. And she says, I hope everybody started their assessments instead of leaving it till the last minute. I was like, what, we're allowed to start them early? I didn't know we were allowed to start them early. So she's like, it's a very long assessment, this one. She says, so don't leave it till the last minute. She says, and then try and rush to get it done. So it's like, right, okay, so I'm going to actually start that. Well, I'm going to print it all off, what I need to look at. I'm going to start that today and spread it over the 2 weekends, so I don't have to worry about trying to cram it all in next weekend. I was saying then I've got a week where I haven't got an assessment, but that means I'll be starting the third one, and then I've then got to get that one crammed in as well. And when I signed up for doing the online course, I was under the estimation that you could work it at your own steam, so you could do it how it fits you. But obviously not. They keep sending you out what you've got to be working on, and then obviously they throw the assessments in. And then you have to have the assessments done by a specific date. So, but never mind. It is what it is. I was actually looking the other day for jobs in accountancy. So anyone was saying on for like a trainee. Because obviously the only way of learning how to do stuff really, no matter whether you're good at passing exams or not, is actually doing the job. I thought I'll have a look to see if there's anywhere setting on an apprentice or a trainee or something like that. And all the ones I looked at, they said like, oh yeah, trainee wanted, must have experience. How is that a trainee? Or must have done a diploma, or must have done this. And it's like, well, none of those are, in my eyes, what you would class as an apprenticeship or a trainee. Well, the only ones that were for apprentices was you had to be fresh out of school. So you had to be like 16 or 18. And I was like, I'm a little bit older for that. But never mind, I'll keep looking. I know there's no rush. I've still got like 15 months of college, unless I get it done before then. But I've still got 15 months of college to go, so. I know a couple of you asked as well with regards to seeing the garden. So, as you're aware, Shane has bought a lot more plants. So I have done an updated video, which I will pop in at the end, showing the garden. And obviously bear in mind the flowers haven't all opened up yet. We're still in spring, so they're starting. So, a lot of greenery. So I'll add that in. I've also taken a video of my massive stitching room. So I will add that in as well, so you can see what I'm working with. I've got Kitty come to see me. So the cats have woke up since I did my update video. Kitty just keeps having a mad half hour. Well, her and Ginge. Tiger's asleep in the sofa. So outside the back we have an old futon. I think that's what you call it. And Kitty managed to dig a hole into the lining at the back of the futon. So yeah, she dug a hole into the back of it, which goes into the base. So the cats like to go in there when it's warm. Obviously, it must be a bit cooler in there, which I'm surprised because it's a black futon, like fake leather. So it just gets quite warm, but the cats seem to enjoy it in there. So if they enjoy it in there, why not? Where am I here? So yeah, this piece, I do a lot of travelling on it because the colours are scattered everywhere. Oh, what I'm also going to do as well, if I remember to do it, I've been meaning to do it for the last 2 weeks, is the other week we were sat here. Well, I was here, Shane was in the lounge room, I was doing college work, he was watching Fast and Furious. And all of a sudden, I heard this massive bang. I was like, what was that? I was like, was that on the TV? He went, no, I thought the cats had knocked something off. And 2 seconds later, he went, look at the front. And at the front of the house, literally outside our house, there was a truck on fire. Well, a ute on fire. Someone had been driving it down, and all of a sudden it just decided to burst into flames. So obviously the owner got out all right. He wasn't injured or anything like that, but this ute went up in flames. So I called the fire brigade, but the owner had already phoned them, so they were on the way. By the time the fire brigade got there, the whole ute was near enough in flames. It went up that quick. Literally in the space of like 2 minutes, it was gone. It looked like it was a pretty newish one as well, so it looked in decent nick before it went up. So yeah, so that went up in flames, and there must have been a new firefighter on there who was obviously just out of training or something like that. So they got out, they got out the truck, and they stood there for like what seemed like 2 minutes looking at it. And it's like, that's not going to put it out if you just stand there looking at it. So by this time it was catching the vegetation and trees on fire around it. So anyway, this one firefighter, as I said, I'm assuming they were new. They were concentrating on the vegetation and the trees, and all of a sudden part of the ute popped. Now I don't know if it was a tyre that went bang, or if it was part of the engine or what. I don't know. But I've never seen a fireman run so fast. They dropped the hose and ran back to the truck. It was so funny. But yeah, so it took them a good 20-30 minutes to get it all put out, and obviously make sure it was all out. And by this time, obviously all the traffic had to stop coming either way down the road, and then people were getting out and trying to have a look. People were walking through the paddock to see if they could get a closer look at it and see what was going on. Shane was just stood there watching it. I was down back at the house. So yeah, that was a bit of excitement. So if I remember, I'll insert a little video clip that I took of that as well. So I have a few questions, not many. So I have a couple of questions, which I will answer. Now one of them is from Judy Stitches, who asks, how do you find it talking through your stitch? Hello. I'm not having anyone respond straight away. It doesn't bother me at all. Sometimes you get the best answers when you're talking to yourself. That's my excuse anyway, and I'm sticking to it. So, you know, it doesn't bother me, just chin-wagging away. Chin-wagging, trying another UK phrase. It doesn't bother me at all, just talking away to myself. So you get the answers that you want then. But yeah, I don't mind, because it's like I'm putting questions out there or asking questions, and then I just wait for a response. As I say, sometimes it can take a couple of days, sometimes it can take a week or so. But it doesn't bother me at all. Which is good, because obviously if you stuff up talking to yourself, asking a question, well, answering a question or something like that, you can just stop the video, remove that part, start again. And people will be none the wiser. Oh, well, I remember, Pain-Free Crafts have got a new chart out. I'm in a Stitchy group, and the owner of Pain-Free Crafts, Sarah, is in there as well. And they've done a new pattern. And she messaged me, she went, "You like your big cats, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah." Anyway, they've got a new artist, and she's done a leopard. Just resting in a tree. And it looks really, really cool. So she went, "Yeah, this will be done soon." So in that group, we were all going to do a stitch along in January, and we'd all picked one project that we were all going to do, and now we've all changed it. We're all going to do this leopard. So we're all going to be doing this leopard as from next year, because the system, which is good because I'm on a no chart buying year. So come 1st of January, I'm probably going to have about 600 charts. So I better get saving. But yeah, this leopard looks really, really cool. So I can't wait to start on that one. And I found my other needle. It's stuck to the back of my needle, man. Here. Oh, missed. Still haven't mastered the threading of the needle, as you can tell. I don't know what it is as well, but just lately, some of these flossers seem to fray really easily towards the end. I don't know why, but they are doing. Let me just mark these off. So Shane's out today. He is looking for a car with his niece. She blew her car up. Something went wrong with it, I don't know what. She blew it up, so she's going looking to see if she can get a new car. So they've taken Shane with them because he knows all about cars, so makes it easier for them. Let's get my next thread. I won't be a moment. 159. So yeah, so he set off at 7 o'clock this morning. I was like, "Why are you going so early?" And they're going down to the Gold Coast, which is where his mum and dad live. They're dropping. He's got to pick his niece up, then go and pick his sister and youngest niece up. And then they're going to drop the youngest niece at his mum and dad's, and then go to the car yards. So sounds like it's going to have a fun-filled day. And then obviously, when they're finished looking at car yards, they're going to go pick up the youngest niece from his mum and dad's, then drop his sister and niece off, and then drop the other niece off. Luckily, his eldest niece lives just around the corner from us, so it's only a 2-minute drive. So I'd be interested to see what she picks as a car. Right, so that's that question. Next question. These are kind of gross subject, topic. I don't think I've got many questions actually, to be fair. I'm sorry, I've got my phone on the table and it's rocking the... Right, so the next one's from Sherry. Now, this is when I was talking about the Queenslander the other week. It says, while you were talking about the Queenslander, two thoughts came into mind. With the floorboards not sealed, how do you keep bugs and critters from coming in? And how do you heat it in winter? The heating bill must be astronomical, unless you don't get the real cold winters. So, how do we keep the critters out? We don't. Generally, they don't come up through the floorboards. The only ones that do, if anything, would be the ants. But we don't really get ants in the house. The other critters we get is mainly like the moths and geckos and stuff like that. Now, they actually come in through the kitchen door because that leads out to where the cat's section is. So because Shane likes to sit out there all night watching his tablet or whatever, the bugs come in their droves, especially the moths, which Kitty then loves because she goes around chasing all the moths. She actually caught what Shane thought was a cricket the other day. He went, "Oh, she's got a big cricket." I was like, "Okay." So well, you better get it off her then. So he went, "No, it's not a cricket." He said, "It's a praying mantis." So I had to go and rescue the praying mantis, but Kitty wasn't going to drop it. No, when I go towards them and they've got something, 9 out of 10 they'll drop it, except for Tiger. He clamps on it, so you've got to prise his jaw open to get it out of his mouth. But Ginger and Kitty would drop any bug that they've got. She won't let go of this praying mantis. So I eventually got it off her. And then Shane says, "Is it still alive?" I went, "Yeah, it's still alive." So that went out the front. And then 5 minutes later, I had Tiger climbing up the windows. I was like, "What's he after?" And he was hanging off the net curtain at the back. Anyway, I couldn't see what he was after, but I knew he was after something. So anyway, I got him off the net curtain. And all of a sudden he started flying across the floor. And it's like, there was obviously something there, and I didn't have the light on, so I couldn't see. So I switched the light on, and he was after a gecko. Now, when I pulled him off the curtain, obviously he must have let go of the gecko, and he fired the gecko across the sun porch part. So this gecko's running around on the floor trying to get away from the cat. And it was a big gecko as well. It was a big one. So, anyway, Tiger managed to get it. So then I had to chase Tiger to get the gecko off him. Now, normally when he gets the geckos normally drop the tails. But this one didn't for some reason. But it looks like it's one that Tiger's had before because he's got a new tail. You can tell it's a new tail. It's a different colour to the rest of him. And I was like, well, you would have thought he'd learned the first time you come in the house not to come in. So I rescued him, put him outside. And Shane went, "Don't put him over that side." I went, "Why?" He went, "That's where the praying mantis is." It says, "And the geckos eat the praying mantises." I was like, "All right," so I had to put him over the other side. And then, would you credit it, 2 minutes later they got a frog. I was like, where the hell did they get a frog from? So a tree frog had managed to climb up the side of the house, go into the cat section. But Tiger didn't see that one, because obviously he was still looking for his gecko. So Ginger had the tree frog. So I had to get the tree frog off them, and then put the tree frog out. I know it was the tree frog that Shane said eats the praying mantises, so I had to put the praying mantis on one side, the gecko on another side, and the frog somewhere else. So yeah, so now we can't keep the bugs from coming in. Plus, with it being an old building as well, there's gaps under the doors. So they just walk in there anyway. It's mainly the cockroaches that come in under the front doors, which Kitty loves also. That's one of her favourite snacks. And Tiger's favourite snack as well, I think, cockroaches. When we first moved in here, he was having a whale of a time catching up cockroaches. He'd come home from work and there'd be legs everywhere, and he's like, okay, he's had some more. So yeah, so no, there's no way of stopping the bugs from coming in. We have the fly screens up on the windows, but obviously because they can come in at the door, it keeps them down. But the fact that Shane sits out the back with the kitchen door wide open instead of shutting the screen door behind him, so all the moths and whatever coming in that way anyway. And then as for heating the house, yeah, that is a bit hard. We've got 3 portable radiators. Now, one of them kicks out a lot of power. And the other two are okay, but they're not overly brilliant. So but we can't have all three radiators on at the same time because it trips the power. We're in an old house. So we just normally have two on. So we've got some curtains up out where the doors should be in the house. So we have some curtains up there so we can keep those shut to keep the heat in. So then we mainly just heat like around the lounge area, which then leads into the bedroom. So it's not too bad. But you know about it once you've walked through the curtains, you can feel the cold heat from the rest of the house. So it's not too bad to keep it warm, but yeah, it doubles the power bill for the 3 months. But luckily, I budget for that anyway. So we're alright to have those on, and then like it's in summer, we'll put the portable aircon on. It just depends how hot that gets as to whether or not we need that on. We put it on the other day because it got up to like 35 degrees, so it was right out in the house. But to be fair, even in winter, I mean, it gets down to like 0 degrees here. But in winter, because of the height of the ceilings and stuff like that, and with it being a metal roof, the sun does kind of warm it up a little bit. It just depends how much sun is out. If there's enough sun out, then it keeps it pretty warm, so we don't need all the radiators on. So, I mean, this winter, I think majority of the time we only had one radiator on. Every now and then we put two on, depending on how cold it was and if there was any sun out that day. So yeah, so heating it is a bit of a pain. So I have told Shane that at some point I do want to get back down to the coast into a proper house, which has aircon in it and is made of brick, or at least has two skins, even if it's made of wood. So it's going to be warmer. Plus it's warmer down the coast during the winter time compared to where we are. So we'll see. Well, I think with that, I'm going to have to wait until I pass my accountancy and get a new job. Because otherwise we won't be able to afford it because of the COVID stuff. The rental prices have gone stupid because people are saying, oh, I'll give you like a year's rent for the house. So landlords are obviously getting greedy and bumping the prices up. But they're now putting a stop to that, apparently, where they're not allowed to do offers like that. So if they put it up for rent and it's like, say, $300, they've got to do it for $300. They're not allowed to say, well, you give me more than $300 and you can have the house. So we'll see what happens there. But still, the prices are still pretty high at the moment. But once everywhere opens up again, I'm assuming they will probably come down in price. But the only reason it's bumped up is because everyone from down south, because they're being plagued by the coronavirus, and in Queensland we're not, everyone's trying to move into Queensland. So house prices have gone through the roof. And by through the roof, I mean they've doubled. So where a house would normally cost you, say, $400,000, it's now like nearly $800,000 to $1 million. So yeah, the prices have gone absolutely ridiculous. But hopefully that'll calm down again soon. Because it's like I was saying to Shane, we want to look at getting our own house at some point, but we've got to save up, obviously, a deposit. And I says, by the time we get a deposit, I says, we're not even going to be able to afford a house. We're going to be able to afford a garden shed, and that'll be about it. So we'll see what happens on that stage. Alright. Let's do this section and I'll look for the next question. of that question. I think that might be all the questions. I know, here we go. So the next one's from Viv's Crafts. And she gave me a couple of questions. Question 1, what video editing program do you use? So I use iMovie. Obviously with me being Apple. You can't even see what I've been working. There we go. So, yeah, so what video editing program do you use? I use iMovie, which comes with the Apple. So that's the one that I use. I find it quite easy to use once I got the hang of it. I'm going to say, you see all these other people with the name of the program or something in the bottom corner of what they've used for editing. I don't know if it puts that in automatically, I don't know. But yeah, I just use iMovie. I know Jessie Marie uses iMovie as well. So that's the editing program I use. I say it's really easy to use, so you don't have to mess around with too much. Question 2, what inspired you to do a floss tube channel? So I kind of went over this a while back, but originally it was so I can meet people who stitch, because I don't know anybody else who stitches. So I could get to meet people and talk to people and stuff like that. So that was one of the main things, or just to talk about my cross stitching really. Another one of the reasons why was you were seeing all these people and you get these like links and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, I make like $2,000 a week on YouTube and stuff like that, so that'd be nice. So I was like, well, I wonder if I can make any money out of this. But yeah, what they don't tell you is you need about 1 million subscribers in order to make this kind of money. So it's like, oh, well, that's not happening. Well, I'll just do it for the fun of it. So I do get a little bit of money from making the videos, but it's not a lot to write home about. But now I know why a lot of people do like a video nearly every single day, so that they can make the money and hopefully get the more subscriptions and stuff like that. I don't have the time to do stuff like that, so my little channel will just plod along merrily. But yeah, but my main reason was to meet fellow stitchers and have people to talk to. And obviously I'll come to get along with a fair few people on here, because obviously a lot of people comment every week, so I know who they are. And then some of them you meet up in Zooms and stuff like that, and then you get other fellow floss tubers who you become friends with. So it's really good for that. Just obviously got to have the confidence in order to make a video. It took me ages to get around to filming my first video. I think it took me 6 months to pluck up the courage to do it. And then the first video, I think before I realised you could actually edit parts out of it, I think it must have took me about 20 takes just to do my first video, and my first video was only 7 minutes long. Then I realised you can cut stuff out of it, and it was like, if I'd known that, it would have been a lot easier. I just realised I'm actually stitching in page 2 here, but never mind. Question 3. Where does your fascination for big cats come from? Good question. I've always liked the big cats. As I say, cheetahs are my favourite one of the big cats. You wouldn't think it, since everything I've got is a tiger. But obviously not many people chart cheetahs. It's mainly tigers and lions and the odd leopard. But in the UK there used to be a program. I don't know if it's still still on. It was called Big Cats, and they used to follow a couple of the big cat families around in Africa. So there was like the cheetahs, the lions, and all that lot. They used to follow those around, showing you like any pups that they'd had, or cubs that they'd had, and how they survived doing the catching the meals and everything like that. So it was really fascinating. But before then, I mean, I've always liked the big cats. I don't know why. I've always liked them. But when that came out, that really sparked an interest in the big cats. But it was fun to watch, I'm going to say, but sometimes it was heartbreaking to watch as well when you see these, like, mum raising her cubs, and then all of a sudden, say like it was the lions raising the cubs, and then the main lion has a fight with another alpha lion and loses, so he has to leave the pride, and then this new lion takes over that pride, and then he goes around and kills all the cubs because they're not his. And it's so heartbreaking when you warmed up to those little cubs. And it was like, no, you can't kill all them. I'm a big softy at heart. It's like, no, you can't kill all the cubs. Run, get out of it. But yeah, I've always been fascinated with them. Cheetahs mainly. I don't know why cheetahs. I've always loved cheetahs. I don't know if it's because of their speed and their agility. I know they're all fast anyway, but the cheetahs are the fastest ones, aren't they? So I think it's because of their speed and agility, and that I've always been fascinated with cheetahs. So that's those questions. So thanks for those, Viv. Going through my phone, and the amount of screenshots I've taken, which is just of my locked screen, is unbelievable. You know, when you press your button to lock it, and all of a sudden it takes a photo. So the next one was from Sue, saying, when do we get a tour of your craft room? Inquiring minds want to know. So Sue, this is on the end of this video for you, if I remember to put it in. I think. Oh, here we go. This one is from Denise, who has a question. What pattern besides Patternkeeper is a good one for Android? Now, I don't really use Android except for Patternkeeper. I am a Apple. Well, I'm not an Apple personally, but I'm an Apple person. But Goodreader is a good app to use. Now, I haven't used that for a long time. Now, the last time I used it, you could merge all your pages together. It took a bit longer. It didn't do it all automatically like Patternkeeper. So it only loaded one page at a time, but you could do it so you could load up several pages at once. You could join them all together to create the big chart, but it was a lot of messing around at the time, so I don't know if they've changed that. I'm gonna say it was a long time ago since I used that one. I know Teresa Little Stitcher, she uses, well, I don't know if she still does or not, but she uses Goodreader. She uses that all the time, so, but now she's gone on to Patternkeeper. I think Ginger Geraldine used Goodreader as well, I think, and he's just gone over to Patternkeeper as well. So, but Goodreader is a good one. That's the only other one I know. There is another one called Silks. I don't know if that's for Android and Apple, or if it's just for Apple. There's one which is called Silks, but that one you have to buy your charts through the app. So that's one's like if you like doing your samplers and stuff like that. Stacey, 911 Stitcher, she mentioned that one. I've not actually used it, so I can't tell you how that one works. But they're the only other apps I know. So other than that, I can't help you on that one. But Goodreader is the only other alternative. Oh no, there's a new one. Now I don't know if it works for Android, which is Markup XP. I've mentioned it before. Now June, one of my friends, she uses that one and she loves it. So I don't know what that one's like, really. I've not really played around with it. It looked like it was okay when I did have a slight play around with it when it was on the trial. But then they improved it all since then, so I don't know what it's like now. It's the stitch. Pattern Keeper's just had another update as well. It's now on beta 4 or something like that. There were a couple of issues with the new ones when they brought those out. But now she seems to have fixed those all. Alright, that's all the questions. I also got another question now. I can't remember who it was. Now, this one was on email. Could have been Bronwyn, I think. I think it was Bronwyn. I'm not sure. Sorry, Bronwyn, if it wasn't you. But they asked, how do you know, like, what the terms mean with regards to, like, when you see stitching and stuff like that, and it's like 1 with a slash, then 2, or 2/2. So basically, what that means is, for the first number, if you ever see like 1/2, that basically means 1 strand of floss, like what I'm doing here, over, and then say if it says 2, it means 2 fabric threads. Let me turn this over and I'll show you. So what it will mean is, where are we? Here. So if it's 1/1, it means you would use 1 strand of floss over 1 fabric thread. So, like 1 set of squares. If it's 1/2, then you will go 2 strands of fabric thread, and then again same that way. If it's 2/2, it means 2 strands of floss over 2 fabric threads, which is normally like your mirabilias and your samplers and stuff like that. So that's all that means. So if you ever see a pattern that says 1/2 or 2/2 or 2/1, you know what it means. So the first part is the floss number, amount of strands for your floss. The second one is over how many fabric threads. All right. There we go. And then people was asking as well with regards to 25 count, is it best doing full cross or tent stitch? That one is your own preference, really, how you want to do it. The coverage on 25 count for tent stitch is pretty good if you do tent stitch on 25 count. Again, it's on your darker colours is the part where you may see some of the fabric through. It's like full cross over on 25 count, like on my supersized tiger family. You can see some of the fabric through when you're up close on the dark areas, but on the light areas you can't see anything. It covers it all. So the darker floss is obviously thinner than the coloured floss. So right, so I'm going to leave that here. So what we're at, about 45 minutes, and then obviously I've got the 3 videos to tag in as well. So this will probably make this one about an hour or just over an hour long. So that's that one. So we've got 144 stitches done. So in total on this one, I've done 2,660 stitches. So I'm not even at 1% yet, I'm at 0.88%. On this piece has 300,950 stitches. So I've got a way to go. So I'm going to leave that there, guys. I'm going to do some of my coursework now. And then once I've done my coursework, if I've got time, I will see about getting another stitch with me done. So hopefully I can, but if not, I will see you in my next stitchy update, which will be in 2 weeks' time. So until then, happy crafting, happy stitching, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, guys, as always, and take care. Bye-bye now. Okay, so here's an update on the garden. So this is a new flower bed that wasn't here before. Shane's planting a load of gladioli. And I've got 2 dahlias. And yep, can't remember what they're called. One of them. But yeah, there's 2 of them. This one's some kind of lily thing as well. Just waiting for that to come up. So we planted 5 lily bulbs last year, and for some reason they've all split, so we're now getting 15 lilies. Those dead things that you can see there were daffodils, similar to this one. They've obviously gone over now, and then we've got 2 irises. Shane likes his irises. For some reason we've only got 2 open. Well, there's another one there going to open. These are amaryllis. So there's one there and one there. Waiting for those. This is Shane's new contraption, which is for his veggie patch. I'm not going to open it because I don't know he's sorted it out. He's just built this contraption around it. And we've got another raised flower bed now. So the gazanias we moved from the old flower bed into this one, and then he's planted a load of wild seed there for the birds. So I don't know what all those are going to be. I'm assuming they're clover and stuff like that. Lavender bush has gone crazy. So's this Ostidium, I think that's what it's called. That's gone crazy as well. So these are the ones that wouldn't close in the sun. Rose bushes are starting to sprout again. Geranium, that one's been in the ground now for 2 years, so that one's doing well. And then I can't remember what it's called, someone did tell me, at the back. A bit of paradise is not growing much. But the frangipanis are now starting to shoot, so these are the ones that Shane took loads of cuttings of. There's my other amaryllis. Now that one did have 2 stalks, but when we had the storm he snapped one of them. Luckily it flowered, so that was alright. And then he's got a desert cactus, no, desert rose, there. More frangipanis. And that one's an acapanthus. So as you can see, we've got loads of pots going on. And then some dianthus there. Some more gazanias. We thought we'd try and put a bit more colour in here. And then I actually found some delphiniums. So I've got 2 of those. That one's going to be a blue one. Don't know what colour that one's going to be. And some more frangipanis. An alloy that was only 1 stem, which is now spread loads. I don't know what that one is. That was a reduced one that we found at Bunnings. Some more of the open and closing plants. More gazanias and dianthus. I like that one, that's a nice one. More dianthus. Another one of those plants that I don't know what it is. More rose bushes. Let me get my first rose on there. Nice red one. And then, if you can see from here, on the veranda, we've got a foxglove. That was reduced for some reason, so I'll have that one. Don't know what that dead plant is there. But it's not looking very healthy. And then I got a giant bird of paradise. Now the birds of paradise are normally yellow and blues. This one is black and white, but they grow a lot taller. Over there in the corner you can see my outdoor orchid. It's really stunning. We've got, that's the grey water sprinkler, which I better move because I've got the washing machine on and that'll probably go off and I'll get wet. We've got some more frangipanis over here. And these ones are really going for it. So I don't know what he's going to do with all these ones. They've all started growing properly. And we've got a money tree, which is moved. And I don't know if you can see this one. I do have an orchid in the tree. Stole this from Shane's mum. Well, cutting of it. Let's stuck it in the tree. That one seems to be rooting itself nicely, so hopefully I might get some flowers off that. We've got a new shoot growing there. And the trees I'm underneath are all bottle brush trees, so these are all going to be flowering soon, so I'm going to have loads of lorikeets. So if you remember as well, you asked about a Queenslander, so if you can see where the railing is there, that means that it's off the ground, so you can actually see under the house. So that's to let the air flow through it. Gerberas, that's those plants I was talking about. Gerberas are them ones there, because we've got another one there. that's the cat enclosure. And then we've got some more Jabras there. And another one of those open and closing ones. This one was one with some violas and some more dahlias, so this one's doing alright, but that dahlia died, I don't know what happened there. And then we've got some more stuff growing, so I've got some lupins growing here, and I've no idea what these are. Shane planted them. What kitty? That's Kitty. Yes, hello. You can see the fly screen so they can't get it. And we've got all those hanging pots as well. I don't know if you can see these clearly. Yeah, hanging pots everywhere. Another orchid, which I think I showed before. This is an umbrella tree. That was only small, that's shot up. I don't know what those are, but Shane seems to like these. And then we've got some, these are succulents, so I don't know what these are called, but they're really pretty. It's supposed to be foxglove. Oh, decent size foxglove, and I say it was reduced to clear. It looked a bit droopy when we got it, so we just watered it and come back lovely. So yeah. Now, so I don't know if you can see, not from here. That's just over the veranda, so you can see how high the ceiling goes, and it carries on going up and up and up. I can't really get a full picture of it, but yeah. So they are really high ceilings. Okay guys, so you wanted to see what my craft room's gonna look like, or what it is. So this is my really tiny craft room. So you have to excuse me, I'm getting ready to do my stitch with me. As you can see my projects there, my stands there, computer desk with all my college work, of course essential coffee. This is the old lounge which was in the front room. So yeah, it's not a very big room. TV, these guys are fan. Now, this is the cupboard that I've got in here at the moment, but this is just full of crap. So all like models, 3D jigsaws. That's that there, and in there is the latch hook, spare shoes. So yeah, it's just a load of rubbish. So that needs sorting out to either put my stitchy stuff in it, or I need to get another cupboard similar to that one. So yeah, so that's my tiny tiny craft room. Fan ready for summer, radiator ready for winter, sorted. But really good light, so that's one good thing about it. So yeah, so short and sweet, that's my little craft room. I've got some drawers there I suppose I could use for putting my stuff in, but yeah, we'll see. Alright guys.